Episode 3998, Every Yes Costs You Something.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. How's your week going? Like, seriously, are you already wishing it was the weekend? Take a deep breath, because seriously, we've got a few more days, around the corner. But we're going to talk about Wellspring today. You're going to feel enthused. I know you are. Every yes costs you something. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. They keep it simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. Clearing the clutter, letting go of all the old habits, and just allowing yourself to step into a fresh season gives you that rush of new energy and possibilities where the change can feel electrifying, right? You're like, yes, I'm on fire. I cannot wait. I want to clean things. I want to, redo flowers. I want to empty out cupboards. I want to clean my closet. But just because you're brimming with excitement, you must remember that every yes costs you something. Think about that. It's easy for us to say yes to what we want, right? But when you're asked, what do you say? How often do you say yes so fast your brain doesn't even catch up? Somebody says, hey, would you be willing to cook, 2 dozen cookies, or bring this, or can you come and watch my class, or can you show up an hour early at church because we need this done? You don't even think about it. Somebody asks you, say yes. It's like you're vomiting yes on them. You commit, you promise, you agree before you even pause to wonder what you're actually signing up for. You're like, oh yeah, I can do that, no big deal. And that quick yes, it's an endorphin rush, right? It feels good in the moment because it keeps us feeling capable, connected, or needed. But it chips away at your focus, your energy, and ultimately your results. It chips away at what you want to accomplish this new season, where you're headed. And this is why the biggest productivity and clarity killers don't come from the tasks you do. It's not that to-do list. They come from the things you say yes to without intention. And I know when you say yes, that means it ends up on the to-do list. But if you didn't say yes, it wouldn't be on the to-do list. You see what I mean? Think about all those times where you said yes to volunteering at school, at church, in your community, only to find yourself committing to more time than originally agreed to. So they say, oh, well, could you come an hour before? And then you're there, and all of a sudden 3 more things need to be done, and you're 2 hours into your time because you weren't planning on staying longer than you're just going to be there for that hour. And then you had other things to do, and now it's like, oh, man, everything's pushed back. Dinner is, hubby at home is just like flustered. You're like, but I just couldn't walk out and leave. Then why did you say yes? Do you remember those conversations? What about all the things that kept you driving for hours a week to get your yes things done? Maybe taking the kids to activities, picking up extra ones here and there. And I'm not saying once in a while is not a big deal. But when we really don't think about it and we already have a lot on our plate, that yes, we got to watch it. If you want to get ahead in this new season, you must learn to say yes to the right things. And that is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Learn to say yes to the right things. Because a lot of times we're saying yes to the wrong things. Wah, wah, wah. Right? We are. And initially we don't think it's the wrong thing because it feels good in the moment. We're like, I'm actually helping someone. I'm serving. Yes, you're doing all of that, but you're giving up where your focus needs to be. You're giving up on your priorities for your family or for yourself or for your spouse. And it's important for you to understand, okay, wait, where do I draw the line? You can have a lot of lines in sand. They don't have to be in concrete, but you have to know how to maneuver all that. You have to know when to empty out the sand bucket and say, I can't do this anymore. It's not going to work. As much as I want to say yes, I need to say no. So how do you make sure your yes isn't just noise in your calendar or an energy suck into other people's priorities? How do you protect your time and goals with a guardrail that keeps your yes valuable? Because let me tell you, there are a lot of people out there that are like, Sue, I know she's going to say yes, so I'm going to her first because then I don't have to ask any more people. And so you're asked by Shirley, and Shirley goes to Sue, and Shirley says, Sue, will you do this? And before she even finishes saying all the stuff that's going to happen, the project in front, Sue's like, oh, I would love to, Shirley. This would be awesome. Let me know. Just send me the information. What date is it? Let me mark it down real quick on my calendar. Okay, great. We'll talk later. Bye. Yes, it feels awesome to do that. And there might be a season where you can do that. But not every season is your season to say yes to everything. And maybe that season is this season. Spring is springing. It hasn't sprung yet, so that's why I keep saying spring is springing. It's coming around the corner. My red bed trees, they're beginning to just, we got a little glisten of the red beds coming out. And really, honestly, I'm not sure why they call them red beds, because they look purple, but that's for another episode. But it's gorgeous. And I have one right out my front door. And it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But then it falls off and it turns green. And that's great. It's fine. But it doesn't last for long. And I always hope and cross my fingers. I'm like, Lord, don't let the rain fall too hard, because I want to see it go in full bloom. And it doesn't last long, because once when it's in full bloom, we get about a week and then it's gone. And usually it's the rain that doesn't, really does us in. But it's kind of like that when it comes to our yeses. Oh, it's budding. And people know exactly when to get you just at the right time. Because when you're hurried, scurried, it's easy to get a yes out of someone. But when someone's calm, cool, and collected, they pause and they're like, well, let me think about that. I'm not really sure. Let me get back to you, right? Why? Because there is this break. There's this moment of, I'm going to slow down for a minute because I can, and I just want to think about what this is going to look like. You've got to be able to protect your yeses, to protect your calendar. And I'm not telling you not to volunteer. I'm not telling you to be a mean neighbor or a mean sister or brother or whatever. I want you to be all in all the time. But it's important to know where you're headed for the season that you're in. I've got a girlfriend who's working on a wedding right now. And I find it interesting because she's like, my focus is the wedding. If it has anything to do with the wedding, it's all yes. If it has nothing to do with the wedding, it's all no. That's clarity. She said, I can't do anymore. We're now 3 weeks away. I can't do it, Christiane. I'm not doing it. I'm like, that's great. And it's helping her focus. It's keeping her calendar clean. Because what happens is we get in this yes mode, almost to the point where it's robotic. Everybody's like freaking out about AI, but if you're a robot saying yes to everything, well, I'm just putting it out there, right? So let's be a little bit deeper in how we are responding to the people in our lives, our bosses, right? Even for you, if you're a manager, if you're a boss, how are you treating your own employees? Gut check, right? It's important. Because you might be asking them to say yes to some things, and you might be, wow, maybe that's really not kind of me, because I'm asking them to do something like I wouldn't want to say yes to that. Unless it benefits them, or maybe it's not the right season for them because, wait, they're getting married. Okay, not a good time. Or they're having a baby, not a good time. Or she just lost her mom, probably not a good time. There's never a perfect time in life, but there are better times in life. And I think when we become conscious about what we're saying and not just kind of like, yes, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, thanks. Just send me the information. We begin to understand more of who we are and who we are becoming. And our calendar looks more like who we are and who we are becoming. Have you heard the saying? I don't know exactly how it goes, but they say if you were to take a look at your checkbook, I know you're saying, what is a checkbook? What is a ledger? Okay, that even dates me even more. But going back, just pretend you have a checkbook and you don't have a checkbook. Let's say you go into your bank's app and you look at transactions and you go and you scroll down. And they say, well, if you look at what you spent your money on for the month, that tells you where your priorities are. Same goes for your calendar. What are you saying yes to? That will show you where your priorities are. Are you paying attention? Is your marriage a little rocky? Well, are you there for your spouse? Like, seriously. You can't say I'm working on my marriage and not be there during the month. Right? Take inventory. Learn to say yes to the right things. So what does it look like in real life? Number 1, calculate the cost before you commit. Every yes has a price. Every yes does. It's not just the time spent on the task or meeting. It's also what you give up doing instead. Right? There's a trade-off here. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the opportunity cost? If you say yes to this, what will you say no to later? What progress will pause? Being clear on what you must decline to accommodate your yes is the only way to keep control of your schedule and priorities. And so maybe you need to put a big screen reminder on your phone that says you only say yes to 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you need that definite, this is what we're going to do. Maybe you need to get your spouse on board. Maybe you need to get the kids on board, specifically if they're older. Can't say yes to everything, right? We've got spring break coming up. In fact, you might be on spring break right now. Enjoy it. I hope the weather wherever you are is beautiful. I know spring break's coming up here within the next, like within the month, we get about 3 to 4 weeks of spring break time here. And so you're traveling, you're trying new things. Obviously, your yes isn't to be, oh yeah, during spring break, I'll be there to help you. No, because you're going to be on vacation somewhere. Or maybe you're having a staycation. You're like, I just want to be home with my kids. Fabulous. Then why are you saying yes to these 3 other things? Calculate the cost before you commit. Number 2, align your yes to a bigger goal. If your yes doesn't push you toward a concrete goal or core value, it's really a cheap yes. And in reality, you're really not using your time wisely or your gifts or your talents. Your yes needs to earn its place. So before committing, get crystal clear on what you're building in the bigger picture. Now, you could look at this from a business perspective only, a family perspective. It can be a life perspective. And I'm all about the life because you can't compartmentalize. However, I will say this, if you're looking at it from a business perspective, you may have a business goal. So look at it from that perspective, right? If you're working on your marriage, you may have a marriage goal. Okay, I get that. But again, understand that all of this works together and flows together. So don't sit there and be like, oh, well, if this yes is here and this yes is here, well, they really don't cross-correlate. Yeah, they do, because it's your life and you can't compartmentalize your life. It feels like you can, but you can't. So just understand that it doesn't matter if it's professional, personal, it all connects. Will this yes move the needle on what matters? Will it open doors, build relationships that matter? Or bring tangible results? Like, is it going to fit into what I need for this season? For example, let's take your health. If you're like, I need to get ready for bathing suit season because we're going to be going to the beach or whatever it is. And you're like, we're taking 2 weeks this time, never done it. So we're going to do this. So you're thinking, okay, I want to drop 15 to 20 pounds and I want to maintain my muscle. So what does that look like? If I start now, okay, I probably can get off at least a good solid 10 to 15 pounds. Not sure I'll make it to my 20, maybe 22 pounds. But if I can feel good, keep my muscle, maybe walk, I might actually look really good and I'll feel really good. And then if I feel good in my skin, I'll want to do whatever. I'll take pictures with the kids. Like, I want to be present, right? Okay, that's important. But if all of a sudden you're asked to, cook all this food that's tempting for you. They want you to come where it's pizza night out. And you're like, really? And you can't have pizza. You're taking yourself off of that for whatever reason, doesn't matter. That's temptation. So then you're compromising your own personal goals for something that honestly, they can find someone else to handle it. So think about how your yes moves the needle. What does it do? What is it accomplishing? If you can't see how it fits into a larger plan, it's probably a distraction dressed up in a costume. Seriously. You're done playing the masquerade ball. You don't need to be dressed up in a costume, and neither do your yeses and nos. Maybe no then becomes the better response. And honestly, if you're one who says, Christiane, I just can't say no. I get it. I understand. So take a moment here. If you're one who says, I can't say no, then what you do is you say, okay, what is my main goal for this season? My main goal is to really be present with what I need to do for my health, for my marriage, and for my kids. Okay, great. Those are 3 things. So you need to run it through that funnel. If you're asked to do something, if it doesn't check yes on all 3 of those, your answer is, no, this is not a good season. And that's all you have to say. You don't have to give a reason. How many times have you asked somebody, seriously, think about this. How many times have you asked somebody to help? And they say, oh, wow, Shirley, I really wish I really do wish I could, but it's not good for me right now. Shirley says, oh, okay, no problem, Sue, thanks so much. She goes on to the next one. But I get it, you care, and you might have a little bit more of a people pleaser mode within your personality, not a problem. No shame in that. There's no shame here. It's just being honest with yourself, recognizing things. But you can say, okay, I have problems saying no. It's all right. So say, I can't do it. I wish I could, but it's a no for this season. Let me know again when another opportunity comes up. End of story. You don't have to go into all the stuff because why? Why do you think that is? You're actually shaming yourself. You're actually putting yourself in a position that says you're not worthy to say no. Oh, ouch. Yeah, seriously. Oh, my friend, you are worthy to say no. And you're also worthy to say yes, but you get to choose, right? So let the yes be to the right things. Calculate the cost before you commit. Align your yes to bigger goals. And finally, number 3, build the pause muscle. It's all about lifting weights, but it's a different kind. It's the, you're not saying anything. It's quiet. The easiest no is the one that comes after a pause. When someone asks for your time or energy, slow down. Don't respond immediately. Say something like, let me check my calendar and get back with you. Use the breathing space to evaluate your first 2 questions, right? Think about your goals. What are you doing? What is it, that you're really focused on? And this isn't about being rude. It's about protecting your output. It's protecting your own personal commitments that you've already said yes to. And it's also protecting your sanity, for goodness sakes. Sometimes you just have too much on your plate and no has to be the answer. Period. End of story. And also, when you think about it, when you have that pause muscle, it trains you to respect your own bandwidth, and it prevents regret. That secondary of, gosh, I shouldn't have done this. You don't want to be whispering that in your own head, saying, well, why am I regretting this? Don't regret it. Think, then speak. As you're aware, every yes you give is a trade. You're trading time, you're trading energy or focus for that opportunity. And at moments, okay, in particular seasons, you might be layered up in a lot of yeses. I get that, okay? Totally on board with that. But for the most part, we have to understand, is this really a good fit for us during this season? And a lot of times we're just stacking on yeses because we feel guilty saying no. So be strategic about which trades you accept, what you say yes to, what you say no to. Because saying yes feels good until the costs pile up and you find yourself overwhelmed, off track, and burnt out. You're like, I can't do this anymore. And then you're like just a bum person showing up to do something, scowl on your face. They're like, what's wrong? Sue, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Are you sure? You don't look too good. Whatever. Yeah, I'm fine. What do you need me to do? That doesn't serve you well either. Practice saying no until it feels normal. Say it in front of your mirror. And it doesn't have to be this mean no, like it comes from the depths of, 20 feet under or something. It's just a simple no, it doesn't fit my season. Practice it because it's the superpower that helps you say the right yes. That's what you're aiming for. You want your yes to count like currency, not clutter. And a lot of times our busyness comes from our clutter. Spring cleaning, spring is springing. We want to clean out our closets. We want to put in beautiful flowers and redo our garden beds. And maybe you're like, no, I really don't want to. I pay someone to do that. I get it. But you want it all to be fresh, right? It's the freshness. It's the newness. Let this be your season of newness. Let your yes count like currency, not clutter. That's how you build momentum and guard your results in any season that you're in. And it can be for any part of your life. And as you step into change, choose your yeses like they're investments, not favors. Because you are investing in what you're doing. Your yeses are investments. I know there's a lot to think about here. And so you may need to go back and let this settle in a little bit. Think about it, then come back and say, okay, what do I really want to do? So I'm going to leave you with this question for you. What will your next yes be? And what will you say no to so the cost is worth your investment? You want to make it a good yes. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.